What's up, folks? How's everybody doing? Welcome back to another video on Edgewater Ranch. Just finishing up making a cup of coffee, and now we're gonna go get started for the day. As you can see, there are a few changes around the yard, so we'll take a quick walk around those. You can see we still got straw bales over here. But we have no grass bales anymore. We have a new shop here. This is the American Midwest Truck Shop by... Oh, crap. Well, that's not what I wanted to do. Interesting. Apparently my super strength is still on. Get that door closed. Alright, let's fix this trailer here quick. I love super strength until it gets left on. You don't realize. That's when it stinks. Alright, we gotta go just a little more. There we go. Alright, let's get that turned off. There we go. Alright, so this is the American Midwest Truck Shop. You can see we've got the two headers pulled in here, the two hopper trailers, and the two semis. Those are going to be pretty much the only things that sit inside of this building. And then around back here, we've got the spray, or well, the liquid tender, the fertilizer tender, and the J&M seed tender sitting. So that way we kind of got everything freed up over here. And then we did make some adjustments in here on equipment. You can see the corn chopper is gone, along with the two 1370s, along with one of the 2290s. Sold all of those. We bought a John Deere 7430. And then if we come around the side here, we've got a bale spear, grapple bucket, snow pusher, the 700M loader, and then our snow blower here for that. You can see we got all of the planting, seeding equipment sitting here. We are in May, so we are getting ready to seed some more crop. If we take a quick run into here, we've got the Bobcat S590 sitting here, and then we also picked up this Kubota SVL 97-2. So that way we'd have a second bigger skid steer around. And then, as you guys can see, there's some stuff over here. So we put up a bunch of buildings over here. We've got 8 hay sheds. So these 3 here are going to be all of our straw buildings. These are going to be our grass, and then these are going to be silage bales. So in order to do that, we picked up this Anderson Hybrid X extractor bale wrapper, and then we moved the bale wagon and stock trailer over here. And we've got a pallet of foil for the wrapper, and we moved our net wrap over here as well. And then you can see we've got 3 cattle barns over here and a mixing shed. So that's another reason that we're going to the silage bales, just to make things easier for filling the mix building. So currently this barn here is empty. We moved all of our calves into this barn here, and then all of our bred cows are over here. And then we still have the bulls in the barn in the yard, and then we have 40 new heifers in there with them to be bred. So that's where the breeding will happen. Once they're bred, they'll come over here into this building. Then once they calf, we'll pull them out of here and put them back in over with the bulls. Calves will go into that barn. Once we have, once our heifer calves reach puberty, they'll go over there, and the steers will get sold. And that'll kind of just be the routine on that. Then if we go into this shed here, this is our heated shop over here for our feeding equipment. So we got the 4755 and Vermeer processor over here. And then we sold the other 4755 and our, I think it was a 4960 that we had. We sold both of those and the old mixer wagon, and we picked up this Kenworth T300 mix truck. And that's all of the changes made there. And then if we come out here, you can see we've got our grass planted and coming up here. And then this, I believe, is a oats field. Yep. So we've got our oats seeded. And then if we go down here, there it is. We've also got our feed oats seeded. So you can see 42 and 21 are our feed oats. 19 and 20 is our oats. 15, 16, and 17 were put into grass. And then obviously field 10 is no longer a field. I do have lime and fertilizer spread on all of these grass fields down here. And it's been spread on every other field. Every field's been worked. 15, 16, and 17, we had manure spread on them. So all of our pH levels are good, and our nitrogen are also good at where they should be. So today we are going to continue spring's work. We have canola, corn, and sunflowers to get in the ground. We got to roll those fields, put some fertilizer on them, and we also have to spray our oats fields. So we're going to start off on the canola. So that's going in fields 13 and 22, which are both right here in the yard. So we're going to go ahead and grab the 8410. And we're going to get this pulled out. We got to top off some seed here. We're just going to pull this guy right up here. Get that set to the seed hopper. Grab this guy, and we'll have to fill him up. And once we're done, we'll probably have to also top off the gravity wagon here. Clipping the auger there. Alright, so we'll either get it full or dump whatever's left in here. We'll see. We might get it full. Yes, we will. Sweet. Okay. So then we're going to go fill this up about halfway because we're not going to need a lot of seed for the drill. And I'm not going to set the auger up to auger any leftover seed back in there, so I want to try and use it up. And I did make some changes here to the bin yard. I took out that fence and had gravel laid, so we got it nice and open there. And then we also took out a portion of the fence right here and had another drive put in. That way we got a little more room for maneuvering around here. Okay, so we got this guy filled to where we want it. We're just going to leave it sitting over here. We'll get that swung in, and let's head on in right into the field. I think we're going to go start with field 22, because then we can do field 13 and we'll finish right here at the yard. It'll make it a little easier. Then we're right here. We can get it in here, get it cleaned out, clean everything up, and we'll get the drill unhooked and put away, and then we'll have this tractor hooked up to the land roller. Wait on these two cars yet, then we should be okay. Alright, let's get pulled in here and spun around, and we'll get unfolded. Alright. And off we go. We're just going to round off this corner here. So we'll probably do 4 headland passes, and then start our up and down rows. And I think what I'll do is I'll get the headlands done, and then we'll come back when we're working on our up and down rows. Alrighty, folks. We are finished with our headlands, and now free to go on our up and down rows. So that is what we're going to work on doing. And now looking at it, at the extremely low amount of seed that we're using, we've only used 6% on 4 times around this field. It's kind of looking like we didn't need to put any seed into that wagon. But the nice thing, with our J&M tender, we have the ability to kick the auger out and use the auger of it to load the tender. So we can we can just take the seed that's in there and in the gravity wagon and dump it into our seed tender, so that'll help a lot. And we're going to skip every other row. Make it so we can see a little more in here. So as you can see, we do have the Kinsey scale monitor in here, along with the Best Way Ag sprayer monitor. So with our pre-emerge application of fertilizer and pre-emerge herbicides, we will be using this tractor, but then for our post-emerge and in-crop, we'll use our other tractor without the duals and front wheel assist on it, just so that way we're not tearing up the crop so much. But this is mainly the workhorse. You know, it'll pull the Mandaco roller, pull the drill, pull the grain cart. You know, like I just said, we'll do some spraying with it. So kind of the main tractor around here. I can't see how many hours are on it as of now, but she does have quite a few. So I am going to try and get some videos out for you guys here with this series before harvest starts in real life here. Today's the 21st of September, and we're kind of thinking in a week or so we should be in the fields. We do have some few last minute prep items to get done around the shop this week. We still got the 2 draper headers that have to have some work done. Our new excuse me, our new 50-foot needs a cutter bar on one side, and our 40-foot needs just some fingers in the drum. We've had some that let loose during wheat harvest. And then those two will be ready. We got our new sunflower header ready to go. We just had to grease it, adjust a chain, lube all the chains, and then we put all new sickle sections on it. As my boss just bought X9 combine with a 50-foot hinge draper, and then he bought a Nardi Sunstorm sunflower header. So had to go through that. It's been sitting on a dealership lot for a while, and so we went through that, got that ready, and then we had a cutter bar break on the 50-foot head during wheat, and we kind of band-aid fixed it just to get through the rest of wheat. Now got to get it fixed fully. And then we have his old 612C corn head is currently off, getting an adapter plate put on it so we can use that head on his X9. And then our other 612C needs, we have a sunflower kit for that one, and we took it off this winter thinking we'd be combining corn before sunflowers, and now it's looking like it's going to be the other way around, so we need to get that kit put back on so that way that's ready to go, and then we should be all set. Been doing a lot of work on semis, pretty much all of them, except for, well, 4 of the 5 trucks needed oil changes. I think I've done 20 some tires between trucks and trailers. We had one truck that all the brakes were starting to get pretty low, so we put all new brakes on. One truck had some exhaust parts that were rusted apart, and some airbags on trucks, trailers, a lot of stuff going on. Just trying to get all these semis ready to go, and just be prepped and ready to rock, because once we start, it's going to be non-stop till we're done. So we got I think roughly I want to say 6,500 acres roughly between soybeans, corn, and sunflowers ahead of us to get combined. So we want to get all of the major prep work out of the way, because we don't want to be trying to do anything in the middle. So that way, if we get everything done and ready to go now, then the only thing we have to do is when we go to combine corn, we just got to pull the sunflower kit off of the one corn head. So that'll make life way, way easier on us. And we didn't seed any winter wheat this year, so that kind of helped allow for the necessary time to go through everything and get it all ready, because that would have taken a lot, trying to spread fertilizer ahead of the drill, get it seeded, and then try and prep. It would have been a nightmare. But the big thing right now that's kind of holding everything up is we just had this entire week, it rained from like last Sunday till Friday night, or Friday afternoon, whenever it finally quit. So everything has been a mud mess. The yard is a mess, so I haven't wanted to pull any combines out of the building to hook onto the 50-foot head. And so it's kind of put a delay on that and a delay on trying to get going. But it's looking like soybeans should be ready within a week. And then we can finally get moving. Because we've been idle for about 3 weeks to a month now. So now that we can get moving again, we're all ready to get out there and see what we got in the fields, see what kind of yields we can get. One that we are the most anxious to find out is our corn. Every corn plant I've looked at has 2 giant cobs on it, and they are filled out. So we're actually thinking that we're going to be piling corn this year. So we're going to have quite a lot of it. And I am going to try and remember to take the GoPro with me to work this week. See if I can't get some video of some of the stuff we got going on. Maybe get a time-lapse video when we put the cutter bar onto the new header. Stuff like that. And then might try and get some footage too during harvest when we're going. It's quite a hill knob right there. Just a rolling hill in this spot. Goodness. And you got this big hill knob. It's quite the field. Yeah, so we're probably about half done with this field, and we've only used 10% of seed. So definitely didn't even need to fill the drill completely, but that's alright. We'll get it cleaned out later on. Pick up this outside pass here, and we can get flipped around and get the other half of it done. You can see, we do have some weeds growing in the field, but in fact, all of our fields that we'll be planting have weeds in them. Thankfully, with our no-till setups, we can work through those weeds, get them worked under, and then be able to take care of them later on with the sprayer. At least this allows us to get the crop in, and then we can worry about some of our other passes over the field. Now the nice thing is you can turn the HUD off and still be able to figure out roughly where my GPS lines are, since we can see the strips. Quite the side hill. It's going to be interesting to combine, that's for sure. Then, like I said in the previous video that I had done of this series, this is probably all the bigger equipment wise, and really probably pretty close to where we're going to stay in terms of farm ground as well. But this is kind of where we're going to stay for our equipment lineup on the crop side of things, because really our main focus is going to be the cattle, but obviously we do need some crops for, you know, like our oats to be able to get straw off of. Same with corn, we can get corn stalk bales, and as we get bigger and bigger, we are going to be farming more and more of, you know, we're going to get less of a variety of crops. Like this year, you know, we've got our oats, our canola, our sunflowers and corn. But later on down the road, it's just going to be corn and oats. That's about it. Make a little extra money on the side in addition to our cattle, but the cattle are going to be the main focus of things. You know, we've got, if we take a look here, we've got quite a few bred cattle. We've got 8 of them at 50%, 10 are at 60, 8 of them at 10%, 18 at 30, 19 at 20, and 2 of them at 40. And then we have these 40 head here that still need to be bred. And then we have our 10 heifer calves and our 5 bulls. So we're mainly going to sell our steers. That's going to be the main thing that we sell, main income source. You know, we'll keep them until they're probably 2 years old. You know, you look at these, they're 21 months and they're worth almost $2,500. So we'll probably hold on to them for at least a year, maybe 2, just to get them aged out and get good sized, and then we'll sell them. We're gonna keep most of our heifers. We might still sell some of them once they've hit full maturity, but most of those we are going to keep back and use them to expand our herd, along with replacing other cattle as they get older. You know, we've got, let's see, 34 months is our oldest. So we've got almost 3-year-old cows. We'll probably keep them till they're 5 or 6. Then we'll sell them. You know, we'll sell whatever we can replace, and just keep growing. We have, with the 3 barns, the 3 new barns, we have 750 head capacity, plus another 120 head in our breeding barn. So we have 40 bulls, so that leaves room for 80 cows at a time to be bred. And then from there, we can hold 250 bred cattle, and then 250 younger calves, and then we'll have 250 head capacity for our aging calves. So we do have quite a bit of room, and in the future, as we expand, we'll start taking out some of field 13 there, kind of expand into there, because then what we'll probably down the road do is we might set up a feedlot for our steers, and then we can keep steers and any heifers that will be selling, old cattle, old bulls, anything older that will be going to market, we can throw them in there, get them fattened up a little bit, and then sell them so we get the highest dollar for them that we can. So that'll be kind of the future plans for the cattle side of things. That side will definitely grow, whereas this farming side, we will have to expand our acres eventually, because as we grow our herd, we'll be adding more and more hay ground and oats hay ground. So, we'll be losing farmable acres when we start seeding things into grass and start using fields for oats, or for oats hay, I should say. So we'll kind of have to add some more land eventually, but I think like these two fields here to the north of us right now, those will be a good addition. Fields 23 and 53, and then we got 28, 29, 5 and 8 that we can expand to as well, and 43 and 47, and that'll kind of, we'll be running one half of the map in our acres, so definitely be running a larger operation. Like I said, we'll have to expand our acres as we go to be able to account for the additional need of grass and straw. So we are going to bale all of our oat straw. We'll see, maybe we'll bale canola straw. It's mainly going to be more of a bedding use anyways then. And then of course our corn stalk bales. So the corn stalks and any other, if we do like some sunflower stalks, which I know in real life you wouldn't do, but for the sake of needing it, we'll see too how many bales we end up with after we get done baling oat straw and corn stalks, and then, like I said, maybe the canola straw as well. We'll see where we're at, but the oat straw is mainly going to be used to add into our feed mix, our mixed rations, and then the other stuff will mainly just be for bedding. I did feed everything and throw bedding down this morning, and we use about 6 bales per day for bedding. let's see, we can put 2 in the cow barn, in the breeding barn, and then 3 into the bred cow barn, and then our calves only need 1. So we'll definitely be going through a lot of straw doing it that way, but you know, it is what it is there. It's a necessity for keeping them healthy and cared for. Alright, our last pass here. Get this done, and then we'll call it a episode. Alright, and that is going to do it for this field. So we'll update field 22 is currently in canola, and that's all that we need to update. So then 13 will be our next one, and then we'll have 6 fields to plant with the cat tractor and Kinsey planter. So we're going to go ahead and get this moved on over, and we'll call it a wrap. Unfolded here. Alrighty, folks, I think that's gonna do it for me for today. Next video, we'll get fired up on some corn acres and sunflowers, or one of the two. Either way, I'm gonna finish the canola, get this rig, this drill and cart washed up, and we'll get the cart unhooked, get the drill back inside the building, and of course get it emptied. We'll get the tender empty, and or the gravity wagon, I guess, and then when we come back we'll be probably on corn. So thanks everybody for watching. If you enjoyed the video, hit that thumbs up button. If you're new here and like what you see, be sure to hit subscribe, and we'll catch you all in the next video.